At first glance, it appears like another spacious, immaculate garage with a few old automobiles. But deeper inside, you'll find something surprising. They hide something more than spectacular behind those glossy doors. Absolutely incredible. How did this go unnoticed? What about Rick Harrison is revealed? After seeing that, you won't believe this is where he relaxes. Rick Harrison was knee-deep in grease, gears, and fuel before Pawn Stars made him famous. The pawn business and his fixation with cars dominated Harrison's life before reality TV in Vegas. Passion took time to build. He started early at 13. He worked for his father's auto repossession company. Balancing that with family pawn store hours was more than work. Harrison admits to starting his vehicle obsession then. Not exaggerated. He has almost 30 cars, from rugged antiques to quirky oddballs, and everything in between. The treasures. His 1940 Chevy Special Deluxe, 1968 Mustang GT Fastback, and 1973 Volkswagen Thing, his first car, says the VWS are bulletproof. His garage includes a 1947 Power Wagon, 1973 Jeep, 2 Harleys, dirt motorcycles, a tractor, and a 1940 Indian Chief motorcycle with a sidecar. For Harrison, it's not about bragging. Machine delight is key. He admits to vehicle addiction. Bringing another car home would be problematic. My car collection is large. That passion lasts after the cameras roll. After hard days filming or working at the gold and silver pawn shop, he plays with his machines. My spasticity is extreme. I can't sit still, he says. After work, I go home and work on my machine shop or antique vehicles. He's resisted buying a NASCAR car, although they're fast, badass, and great. He stays near the track. Harrison attended the Richard Petty driving experience at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and took high-speed laps. Despite not owning a race vehicle, he's seen his face on Jeremy Clemens' worldwide car during Vegas races. A funny gimmick. It makes me seem bad, but I adore it, he jokes. His vehicle journeys weren't always glamorous. Harrison says his worst car was a 1969 Oldsmobile Delta 88. He bought for $150 at 17. There was no back seat. He laughs. I rode it for 6 months and added 4 or 5 quarts of oil weekly. This is the query. What happens when car enthusiasm meets house design? Does a house show horsepower? Join us to learn Rick Harrison of Pawn Stars Unlocked. His Red Rock Country Club home in Summerlin to reveal more than a magnificent Las Vegas residence. He was reflected in it. The roughly 9,000 square foot estate isn't your usual high-end property from the moment you enter. When it comes to customizing the home, Harrison's love of cars and function-driven design are evident in every detail. Harrison, a gearhead with 29 cars, built more than an 11-car garage. That space and others in the home were painted with automotive-grade paint, his passion. This $500, $1,500 per gallon high-performance industrial paint covered the crown molding and many doors in the residence. Why? Harrison stated that automobile paint offers more than rich, brilliant hues that traditional paints can't match. It withstands wear tear and his 6 children and many grandchildren. The car paint washes 100 times better, he said. A fireplace with bright green automotive paint and enormous Christopher Guy chairs stands out in the sitting room near the formal dining area. It's bold, utilitarian, and reflects his style, combining tough functionality and design flair. He calls himself Rick from Pawn Stars, and the house has no pretense and lots of personality. Harrison's automotive collection and hands-on interests outgrew the garage even if it was big. That constraint was one of his key motivations for moving. He bought a 1.5-acre ranch property in rural Clark County, with plans to build a 4,000 square foot garage for his passions and increasing projects. At Red Rock, the HOA had limits, Harrison joked. The HOA doesn't like me welding and having 1 million machines in my garage. It symbolized that his garage was for welding, fabrication, machines, and other heavy-duty operations. Not just parking. Requested more flexibility than a luxury neighborhood could provide. Buyers or enthusiasts interested in this property will admire its luxurious finishes and facilities, as well as its thoughtful upgrades. Harrison renovated for more than appearances. He designed the home with purpose, accuracy, and a craftsman's sensibility, using premium materials for an active, multi-purpose lifestyle. From durable automotive finishes to large garage infrastructure, every element was chosen with thought. The home's uncommon blend of form, function, and personal investment sets it apart from high-end offerings. A man who values horsepower and heart created this storybook house. What does a garage look like when it's not only for parking, but a lifestyle's core? Rick Harrison's 11-car garage isn't a PR stunt. It skillfully balances living demands, personal interests, and future planning. The garage, part of his 8,845 square foot luxury property in Red Rock Country Club, shows ambition versus space limits. Harrison realized that even a facility this size wasn't enough for his growing interests. Controlled climate is a crucial but frequently ignored feature of this garage. Temperature regulation is essential for serious automobile collectors. In Las Vegas, where excessive temperatures can harm vehicle interiors, batteries, and paintwork, this suggests the room was designed to protect Harrison's collection's quality and quantity. It indicates long-term planning and preservation of valued or vintage cars. Interestingly, Harrison doesn't think the garage will solve his storage problems. He bought a 1.5-acre ranch in the Northwest Valley in unincorporated Clark County with plans to build a 4,000-square-foot garage to accommodate his collection and overflow from the current residents. Lifestyle changes are shown in this plan. He stated that moving to an area without a tight HOA would allow him to weld and work on big machinery. He won't merely store things in his new space. Probably a workshop zone interwoven into his regular existence. The garage holds his machines and tools in addition to autos. Harrison quipped that he needed space for 1 million machines, highlighting that this garage has been a personal museum, mechanical workshop, and industrial playhouse. One distinctive aspect of the garage is its relationship with the residents. Harrison's garage blends into the house's architecture, unlike many high-end garages. The mansion has specialty rooms, a gym, a wine cellar, and a 12-seat theater. The garage is an integrated high-utility section of the house, not an outbuilding. Harrison and the original architects or renovators may have coordinated design to address accessibility, power supply, and noise insulation, especially given the machinery and welding. What secret passion drives Rick Harrison when the engines stop and the garage lights dim? Promise. Rick Harrison's garage is full of motors, vintage chrome, and tools that whisper repair and devotion. Step inside his mind and you might be shocked by what inspires him when the wrenches are down. History is Harrison's quieter passion amid pistons and horsepower. Not just kings and castles, but the real, raw, and sometimes uncomfortable truth of how regular people lived. Harrison often binges on books like TV. Often recommended favorite, The Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England by Ian Mortimer. The novel immerses readers in 14th century life, not just a textbook. Harrison likes that spot, he said. It's a book about ordinary people's private lives, not Hollywood's edited version. Oh, life sucked back then, he laughs half-jokingly. He beams as he describes how medieval people cooked, slept, and had sex in single-room dwellings.
Yes.
Everyone slept in one large room, he said. If you were wealthy, you might partition a wall in another room. That was lavish. Harrison appreciates those hard days' genuineness. No insulation, chimneys, or privacy, just a fire pit in the middle of the room. Black soot covered the ceilings. Animal fat was rendered by their tallow candles. Stank, he said. A man who now lives among sleek automobiles, climate-controlled garages, and automotive-grade paint found it real, messy, hard, and interesting. The thirst for historical truth resembles his car fixation, love for craftsmanship, curiosity about how people lived, and a desire to preserve the past underpin both passions. Whether in a restored 1940 Chevy or a dusty history book, Harrison may be coated in grease one minute and reading about medieval peasants cooking roots over smoky hearths the next. Rick Harrison is more than a TV personality, an automobile collector. He hoards time. He searches his pawn shop for artifacts, rasacks gadgets in his garage, and quietly explores centuries. A man who alternates between medieval history and modern horsepower, one foot in the 14th century and the other on the throttle pedal. What car could satisfy him? Follow us to learn. Rick Harrison is a lifetime automotive aficionado and history geek. His daily driver is a 2018 Ford F-150 Raptor, which he rates 10/10 for his 5 months in Oregon's mountains. Harrison needs its ground clearance, suspension, and locking rear differential, known for its off-road prowess. He says he's driven at 70 miles per hour through the desert. A beast. It can bottom out at 50 and keep going. Harrison considers the Raptor a survival tool, not just a truck. When carrying fallen trees or crossing rough logging roads, it tows, hauls, and handles hard terrain well. Truck is great, although he jokes about it badly positioned. A mirror control button that often folds his side mirrors when driving. My mirrors fold in on the freeway when I roll down the window and press the wrong button, he laughs. He also jokes that parking in metropolitan areas is like driving a dually, because the vehicle is 8 inches wider than a conventional truck. Despite loving the Raptor, Harrison's favorite car is his custom-built 1940 Chevrolet Special Deluxe. This automobile took 12 years to build. It's modified with Elson engine, air suspension, and cut roof. He wanted a low-slung, fat-fendered car like Hot Wheels and old cartoons as a kid. Harrison admires the elegance and craftsmanship of 1930s and 40s cars, which he thinks were more fashionable than modern ones. He says vehicles were stylish then. They were art, not just appliances. A flawless 1966 Imperial Crown convertible from his father sits in his garage. Only 600 were manufactured, and it cost more than a Rolls-Royce. He treasures his father's 6,000-pound, 20-foot convertible. This is like driving a boat, says Harrison. Though he only drives it for parades and special occasions, it is one of his most cherished items. Harrison treasures his Volkswagen Thing, his first car. He was taught to drive by his calm, patient mother, not his father. Due to safety concerns, the military utility vehicle was only offered in the U.S. for 2 years. Harrison found and restored another, recalling childhood recollections. He even got a VW Thing from the History Channel and restored it himself. At his Oregon ranch, he drives it on beaches and sand dunes, calling it unbreakable and entertaining. His teenage road trip to Duck Creek Village, Utah, in the original VW Thing, roofless and without a heater, is one of his favorites. He still camps alone in Northern California with a hammock in the open road. Harrison sees cars as more than transportation. They're intensely intimate memories of his history, passions, and adventure. What does Rick Harrison build? When the roads cease and rumors start. One unusual story caught the internet's attention in today's digital anarchy. When falsehood spreads quicker than reality. Renowned porn actor Rick Harrison was raided by the FBI, arrested, and sentenced to life in jail, according to viral footage in a generated clickbait headlines. Rumors portrayed drama, secret rooms at his Las Vegas house, tax evasion, money laundering, and cultural relic trafficking. The video's millions of views were boosted by sensational thumbnails portraying Harrison in orange prison jumpsuits, or handcuffed. Only one issue remained. Nothing was true. Yahoo! Snopes and U.S. Prison Guide quickly discredited the story. No FBI raid, formal accusations, or courtroom drama resulting in a life sentence. The U.S. Department of Cultural Heritage Protection mentioned in these movies doesn't exist. Most importantly, the photos were generated fakes created to deceive, for clicks and ad money. While the internet was abuzz with this fake scandal, Rick Harrison was quietly working on something more important. He was constructing his ideal garage. This custom-built, high-tech mechanical utopia was years in the making and was designed as a living, breathing studio of innovation and repair, not just a place to keep vehicles. The garage in Las Vegas is a personal monument to Rick's lifetime. Love of mechanics. The layout is as grandiose as its creator. Harrison works easily on classic muscle vehicles and unusual antique cars with many car lifts. Body and detail fabrication are done in specialized welding bays. Climate control keeps even the most fragile vintage parts and interiors in pristine condition in the garage. Every inch of the room is optimized for serious mechanical work and exquisite craftsmanship. From industrial lighting to precision tool stations, Harrison uses this garage emotionally as much as technically. After his son Adam died of a fentanyl overdose in 2024, this sanctuary became a therapy and retreat from sadness and the outside world. Tool and torque seclusion gives him focus, purpose, and calm. The garage is more than a building. The sin represents resilience. Rick worked hard on every bolt, weld, and design. Friends and fans who have seen early glances call it a shrine for repair, where time slows down and history comes alive. Rick has suggested using the garage for a new show, podcast, or documentary series. It's a refuge where history is revered and reconstructed one old car at a time. Instead of scrolling past the disturbing news about Rick Harrison being condemned to life, consider that his sole sentence is passion and perseverance in a bustling garage full of memories, machinery, and aspirations being restored. Garage astonished you like it did us? Like, subscribe, and tap the bell to never miss another surprise.